Hello there, weirdos and weirdettes. I'm Haunted. Today we're going to be painting on a Harpooner from the EVS keyword. So I did a little bit of prep work already, got some of the base coats in, and we do have the other one. We got a first coat of his flesh on there as well. But we're going to be focusing on this one today and see if we can finish her up. So anyways, let's get started. Hey, Tiger, how are you doing? Yes, painting. That is exactly it. We're excited about painting. we have we've been kind of bouncing around this keyword quite a bit. I did a Nagato or Harata Nagato. He's still got a little bit of work to be done. We got him finished up. His weapon is finished now. I've still got to work on his water bending effect and the tattoos for him. But he is basically done and ready to go now. Well, tattoo is a good bit of work, but yeah, that's what we've been working on. So, female harpooner. Let's go ahead and work on them eyes a little bit. Get that out of the way while my eyeballs are still fresh. Probably have to trim that one up a little bit. So we'll be putting on the big old glasses here in a second. The alien looking glasses. Hey, McBluff, how are you doing? Welcome in. Good to see you. So now we got my bug glasses on. These are the ones that I hit the camera with all the time, so be prepared for some earthquake going on. We will try not to, but it just seems to happen. Doing good, doing good. I got some 2-part epoxy resin in and some alcohol ink, so I'm going to be working on learning how to do water bases soon because, well, all of the EVS keyword is kind of nautical theme. Not all of it, but some of it definitely is. And the client kind of wants that nautical theme carry through for the basing, so now I realize she looks like she has a little bit of raccoon eye going on, but we will fix that here shortly. May not be able to see it anyways. We're not focused in on the face too much. Be camera not beyond camera's capabilities is what I'm trying to get at. Okay, now we got that. We'll bring her flesh tone back up. So what I'm doing here is basically cutting in those raccoon eyes and narrowing them down. I tend to go big on the eyes and then shape them up um, to the model. And there's also another method that I used to use a lot more frequently. I use it less now. This is kind of a modification of it, but used to what I would do is I just paint that whole eye orbit area, just all over, just big old blob of white. And then I draw a fine brown or black line through it. And then I cut the almond shape in, for the eye opening with the same brown. And then I would bring the flesh up to it. And this is just basically a modification of that. So it's not quite so out of hand. I try to get it a little bit closer to where the actual final product will be. Rather than the big clown eyes. But that is a really good technique for those that can't do eyes or have trouble with eyes, to use the clown technique first. Okay, let's get some flesh wash on her real quick. If we can find flesh wash. That's sepia. There you hiding. Took a second. So, any of you guys hobbying along? What y'all working on? I am thinking about possibly maybe doing, once I do one or two of those bases, kind of get the hang of it, doing the epoxy, doing a short little tutorial of that. And post it on the website or on the Twitch is, something that can be a rerun or whatever type of thing. Mainly a don't mess up like I did kind of thing. Just working on some digital art. Fantastic. When you say it like that, it sounds self-deprecating. Don't do that, man. Your digital art is good. When you just say just working on some art. Oh, say it with confidence. I am working on some digital art. And she has the Rotten Harvest voting set up. Very cool. I will have to check that out. Like I said, I've not participated, but I can at least go vote. So that'd be something I do after stream. Well, after dinner and stream. So is one of your things going to be entered in that, McBluff? Do they have an animated category? That would be kind of cool. So I'm hoping I picked the right color. It's been a while since I've done red hair, but decided we would do auburn/red hair on this Chica. We haven't done that since we did Lady Justice. Red hair was always one of those colors that kind of tripped me up. I think trips a lot of people up. Most people paint it, either like fire engine red or they paint it just flat out orange, and it never really looks good in either of those cases. But I think Lady J's turned out pretty decent. It's not great, but it's a little bit more closer to the natural auburn, I think. And the camera may not capture it well enough, but I think that recipe is pretty decent. And I'm going to try and capture that on this one as well. You think there's a non-3D category? Yeah. Oh, you don't think there is one? Oh, okay. Well, maybe something we can add in the future. Hey, Stig, how are you doing, sir? Welcome in. Been a bit. How's life and doggos treating you? Hanging in, jet lag, thanks to a crazy doctor's appointment. Hoping to settle in and get some hobby time. Nice. Yeah, you definitely need some hobby time. Everybody needs a little hobby time. I am doing pretty good. The horse has finally healed up, I think. I'm still keeping her isolated for a little bit longer. Just until I can get around to checking the fields and the paddocks and stuff for things that she could have hurt her foot on. But it's going to be like, looking for a needle in a haystack because it's 50 something acres that she has free reign of. So I may or may not find what hurt her leg in the first place, but we're going to try. So we're mostly dry on this arm. Oh, no, we got some wetness up there. We're going to hold off on that. We'll go start on something else like the legs. So when you say jet lag, do you mean like actual jet lag where you like crossing time zones or for like work travel? Or are you just saying you feel like jet lag, like feel like it, but not actual jet lag? I've never had the chance to experience that. I imagine jumping time zones would be a real pain in the tuchus. Oh, okay. Same effect. You shifted your entire schedule 2 hours. Okay, I see. I gotcha. Yeah, it's just I was curious about that because, well, a lot of people travel for work. Not as much now as they used to, I don't guess, because of COVID, but that was a thing. A lot of people did for a long time. I can't imagine what it'd feel like to jump like 12 hours or 10 hours or 13 or 14 hours, going to Europe, going to, Japan, going to Australia or something like that, how lagged out you would be. Well, yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's pretty mild though with that one. The thing that bothers me most about daylight savings time is just losing the daylight because it's not as bad here, but when I lived in Tennessee, which is Central Time, it got dark at 4:30. It was horrible. Like I was ready for bed by 6 o'clock, even though my my internal time clock said no damn way you cannot go to bed now, but it wanted to because the sun was set. Now, granted, it sets 5:30, 6:30 here, but I don't know, it doesn't seem as bad because I'm in the middle making dinner, eating dinner, cleaning up after dinner, so it doesn't seem so horrible then. Like that gives me basically another 2 hours of wakefulness by doing all those things. Um, so yeah, but that 4:30 sunset thing sucked. I thought that these were metal greaves here because the male harpooner has what looks like metal boots, metal greaves on his boots, and these actually look wrinkled. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be cloth or metal. I think I may have screwed up, folks. Let's switch back to black then and just work it up as boot, as leather. Not a big deal. Basically, just cover that area with black, and then we'll work back to the colors I had set up for the non-metallic stuff. But we'll just be starting with black this time. Sorry about that, guys. We had to make a little correction. So I started watching an anime this week called Tokyo Ghoul. And I know it's supposed to be like not a quote classic, but one of the ones that a lot of people are told to start on. It took me a while to get around to it. First and second season, I think were pretty cool. Third season takes a huge hang to the what the hell. And I don't want to spoil it if any of you haven't seen it and want to see it. So yeah, it's third season threw me for a loop. Yeah, it's definitely material. I see like little eyelets here. Those were not very clear when I first looked at it. They are now, though. So I guess they're more like combat boots, maybe. Okay. Come in here with a little bit of that dark gray black mix. Same on the tops of the toes and the tongue here. Not that it really has a tongue, but we're going to paint it like it does, by golly. Uh-oh. Captain Sneezy Pants is awake, y'all. The kitty cat attack cometh. We'll see how long it takes him to get from his perch to in here. Okay, so we're just putting in some blends of this gray and black to build up a little depth here. I'm not sure if it's coming through in the camera or not, but it's visible on the model at the very least. The cat arises. Yes, he does. He made his appearance, or it made his presence known. And unfortunately, there is an inch wide opening in his food dish, which means he's probably going to be howling the second he comes in here. So just a heads up. We might have jumped that a little too soon. Let's go back to the other real quick. Go. Okay, so we'll start edge highlighting here in a second because we're basically done with volume building, I think. Don't know if you guys noticed, but there is a little tabard between her legs on the butt, on the back side and the front side. because her being glued down to the base are a little hard to get to, so I will do those like after I've removed her from the base. So if you happen to catch a glimpse of unpainted stuff, realize that will be painted, just not at this moment. All right, so there. And then we'll be popping back up to the flesh here in a moment. Just going to get more of these boots taken care of. Oh, we got a little heavy-handed there. Fix that up, no problem. It's funny, the other day, heard Doug say he used his finger eraser, and I was like, nice, is catching on. Finger eraser's catching on. Made me happy. He's getting closer, guys. He kind of like that, horror movie bad guy that he walks while everybody else runs, yet he somehow keeps up with them, even overtakes them. Yeah, that's what my cat's like. It's becoming a whole thing. Yes. Next thing you know, it'll be hashtag finger eraser. And I'm honestly okay with that. These glasses are great for up close work, but sometimes because of the magnification, they distort things so that you put your brush where you're not really supposed to. That makes it difficult. Okay. Here we go. Pull a little bit more down here on the tiptoe. Making sure that's the right spot there. Maybe just a wee bit. Right there. Catch a little bit of those eyelets there. Oh, did y'all hear him get closer? Hey, easy beasy. Fantastic. Welcome back. Been a bit. How are you doing? Have you been getting any hobbying done? I am working on a harpoonist or harpooner from the Turning Tides box. We last streams we worked on Nagato or Harata Nagatoro, I think it is. Whatever. I'm not a name scientist. Just working. I hear you. I hear you. That working thing, how dare it get in the way of our hobby time, right? How dare it? And if you didn't see it, I'll show them real quick. This is Harata that we worked on the 2 streams before. Um, he has a little water bending effect that I've still yet to do. Attaches to the bottom of his staff and then comes up around him. So we got to do that, and I've got to do the tattoos on his back, and then he'll be finished up. But we decided to start on another project today. This harpooner. Thank you, appreciate it. Agree. They should just pay you for being a delight, right? Right. That's the way it should be. Hold on one moment. Oh, that's a spam call. Let's just delete that one, shall we? All right. I mean, election day is over. Why am I still getting calls? Hate that. I hate election time. It's not even technically that important as hometown elections this year, or was as of Tuesday. And 90% of the poll was uncontested incumbents or whatever, ones that there's nobody running against them, so they automatically win regardless. So it's like no point in voting. Hey, Doug. Welcome in, sir. How are you doing? Gonna lurk for a bit. Hey, lurking is always 100% appreciated, dude. I do appreciate you coming in and that you had some time to check us out again. I hope you have some time in the future. Under construction paints. Hey, how are you doing? Hides the death fonts. Nice. No, don't leave, Doug. Come back. Death metal fonts. That's funny. I'm curious. I want to see these fonts now. Guys, remember, I can't remember the name of the font. I think it may have just been called Evanescence. But that font, how overused it was, almost as bad as, Comic Sans. Um, but it was such a cool looking font. But it got overused so hard. Okay, got those hooks based in real quick. And that's another one I like. I like it, and I like the whatever the Evanescence one is. I can't think of the name. Um, I like those two. They just got really, really overused. Although I don't think I've ever really seen papyrus, whatever it's called. I don't think I've ever seen it used. I've used it on a couple of my web pages before, but I don't think I've seen anyone else use it. Um, people that are against it must be looking at different web pages than me. You mean papyrus? I don't think that's the one I'm thinking about. All right, so got this hook spaced in, got the boots kind of set up. I probably am going to run a little bead around the bottom real quick. But yeah, I never understood the hate for that one. Like I said, because I didn't see it so often. But the Evanescence one, that got used to death. So I can understand people not liking it. And Comic Sans, same thing. I can understand the hate there because I saw that every single web page, personal web page in the world had that on there. But that is not a discussion I expected we'd be on today. Font talk. I also was never, involved in like newsprint or journalism in any sort of way. So, I may not have seen the fonts used as much either in inappropriate ways. Well, Captain Sneezy Pants moseyed in and moseyed right back out. I guess he was just a little thirsty. Got him a drink, and he's back to his napping spot. So, guys, I'm sorry, but you will not see Captain Sneezy Pants on stream today, it looks like. I know that's who you came to see. Oh, wait, he's changed his mind. He heard me mention his name, and he is coming back. You just had to keep up appearances, right, Cat? Because cats can't seem too excited about any one thing. The papyrus thing is really greatly hated, almost graphic amongst graphic designers because it's used by people who think they know a good design, or it gets requested by clients and it's just a bad looking font. Okay. Well, I mean, I liked it. I didn't think it was that bad. But I never claimed to know what I was doing. So at least have that in my defense. It's a very 90s vibe. Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, that was when I was working, when I had a website to worry about. Ah, there he is, folks. Captain Sneezy Pants has appeared. Come here. Here he is, folks. Ow. That's my shoulder. Hey. Hey. There he is, folks. That's the Captain Sneezy Pants. Oh, he does the sneezes quite a lot, but that was a meow. So that's the foofball. Yep. Yep. That's the one. All right. Get down. Camera time over. See, look at all the excitement over my cat. He's definitely the star of the show. Hey. Enough. Remember the old Bard Windows font? Oh, versus Grandpa. No, I don't remember that one at all. Okay. We're just coming in with the next lighter color, working up some of these hook ears, hooky things. That one sounds bad. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm sure it's rough. Yeah, blobbered all over her jeans there, or her pants. We'll fix that here shortly. We're not going like super detail with the non-metallic metal on this one either. We're doing like suggestion, and that's going to be it. We have done so much of it lately. We're kind of tired. Like, oh, I'll work on this Tide collar because it doesn't have metal on it. Well, it does. It's got that big old anchor, and it's got those connections on the port or for the hoses. I'm like, son of a gun, I can't get away from it anywhere. It's the font to anger everyone and bring about the end of the world. Wow, it's an apocalyptic font. Fantastic. I'll definitely have to add it to my MySpace page. Kidding. Okay, so we're just working this lighter gray color in. It's not as in a smaller area than we worked before. That's what we're trying to do here now. Feel like I should visit an Iowa station after. Wow. Wow. I just had no idea there was so much hatred for certain fonts. Like I said, I knew Comic Sans was like universally hated, but I didn't know that list went even deeper. Okay, and this is our next to last color here on these. So funny, the thing is Comic Sans looks decent on old computers because it was designed when computers didn't have as high resolution screens. That does make more sense now, but it probably with the IRS screens it looks horrible. I can understand that now. Gotcha. I still, I still have Windows 3.1 on the 14 floppy disk. Not like currently running, but I do have it. I'm if you guys haven't figured it out yet, I'm a little bit of a pack rat. Not like hoarder style pack rat, but things of importance I'll keep. Like I have all my previous operating systems, the disk and the key codes and everything with them. I have every console I've ever owned and all the games for those consoles. So I have everything from Pong up to GameCube. I don't have anything beyond GameCube, but because at that point I kind of got more solidly into just PC gaming. Back, before video cards became like finding magical unicorns. There were quite a few games I would love to play again, but because of the systems they were designed to operate with, like QuickTime, makes them a little difficult to play. Like the old Myst series, and granted they've got a remastered version of the Myst series, so you can play it, but like Obsidian and Rhea and all these other puzzle games that I used to love cannot play them anymore. It just kind of sucks. Obsidian was fantastic. It was one of my favorites. On your Angel Firefly. Wow. That's dragging up some past there. What was the other one? GeoCities? Or did GeoCities become Angel Fire? I can't remember. They were two very old names I remember. I was just saying, wasn't it kind of like, was it the equivalent of Angel Fire, or was Angel Fire what GeoCities became? I can't remember. It's been a very long time. Okay, just about getting done with these little hookers here. I mean, these hooks. That's what I get for trying to play around with words, huh? Okay, now we're going to mix a little bit of white with that. Oops, very sorry about that. Yeah. That was there's my PG-13 rating right there today. They're fish workers. Fish workers, flesh workers, whatever. Tomato. Oh, God. All right. Now I brought myself to tears. You guys want to know a fun fact about the cat, Captain Sneezy Pants? He hates treats. He hates them. I tried every single treat that was carried by PetSmart, and I took every one of them back. He wouldn't eat them. Comic Sans is very dyslexia friendly font, huh? Maybe he doesn't trust them. Could be. I mean, he refuses. I mean, I tried greenies. I tried now Nip. On the other hand, Nip he is a Nip head. He loves Nip, but treats he just could give a fig about. One of my dogs stopped taking treats because we kept hiding pills in. Ah, okay. Well, I've not done that. He's never had to have any medication given to him, so it wouldn't be that. The only thing I can think is just doesn't agree with him, or I don't know. Maybe he's just a weird cat. Like he doesn't eat human food either. he comes up and he yowls when I sit down to dinner, right? So you think he's wanting food. Most people that come over, if they're, the pet types, they'll try and feed him something. And he just walks off and ignores it. He wants to smell it. I call him, he's like my personal food smeller to make sure everything's okay and not poisoned. Because when he comes over howling, I hold my plate down to him. Yeah, exactly. He takes a little whiff of it and he kind of nods and he walks off. That's all he wants to do. He wants to smell it, make sure it's okay before I ingest it. It's the funniest thing. He's a strange little kitty cat. He's on the aroma diet. Yeah, something like that. Okay, we're getting close to having these hooks. God, why do I keep adding that on there? These hooks. Done. We're getting close to having these done. Jeez, Manini. I'm gonna get fired if I keep talking like that. I'm so used to just making up cutesy words out of whatever I'm working on, and it just that's not one you can do that with. My apologies. Fish negas. I like that. Hookies. I like that one. Oh God. I don't need a talking to. Do not take me to HR, please. I don't know. I don't want to go to HR. Okay, so this is almost pure white. We have a little bit gray mixed into it, but not much. So we're just kind of hitting little tips and taps on this. Convey the sharpest points and stuff. Yes, please paint the rope instead of the hook that I'm sitting you on. That's what I asked for. Okay. That that is true. That is true. I mean, we even have a character that's called Madam, and not like Mademoiselle, but like Madam, like one that runs a place, like that. Really? It's blocking that word out. Let me see if I can change that. There we go. Now I have filtering turned off in my chat. I swore I'd done that already, but apparently I have to do it every so often. Yeah, yeah, that's true. I keep forgetting about that, but it's just I've worked very hard to keep myself PG-13 on here. I know we're not Sunday school or anything like that, but I just I try and keep it on the family safe side most of the time. Family friendly side. That's what I'm try to do. Okay, those are done. Let's work on our pants. Pants. Ah, that makes sense now. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Just doing up some more mixtures today. Working on our brown mixtures now. We're going to be working on those pants. Pants. Well, that didn't work very well. One more drop of this. How about that? Go. 1-to-1 works good. Yeah, honestly, I never had any idea the etymology of the word or etymology. Entomology study insects. Right. So etymology. Ah, interesting. Okay. So let's work on these pants. This is a mixture of Dune Bull Brown and my favorite brown, Rhinox Brown. I can't say it's my favorite. My favorite still, honestly, is Generation 1 Oak Brown from Army Painter. They had, hey, Captain CC Pants. How are you, sir? Um, Oak Brown was one of my favorite browns. And of course, they've changed their formula. So it's not the same as it used to be, which bothers me greatly. The etymology of entomology. I don't know. Bless you, Captain Sneezy Pants. I do know when I was younger, I actually wanted to be an entomologist. Uh, Fascination with insects. I still do. Um, Insects, arachnids, all that good stuff. But um, just never pursued it. Other things caught my eye. Kind of like Doug, I jumped from passion to passion in professions. Spotted a marbled orb weaver. Nice. Well, I finally have a golden orb weaver at my house now. They've been coming into Georgia for quite some time via uh, overseas shipping because we have a big port in Savannah, um, and apparently they came right on over, and they're wind riders. They'll spray a little web up into the wind, catch a current, and float, hundreds of miles, and resettle. And so they're very much up here in Northeast Georgia now. But I finally saw my first one the other day. She's very shy. She has her web built. She'll come down to feed or whatever, but she's got this little leaf that she's pulled together and webbed, so it's like almost like a cocoon, like a bell-shaped cocoon, and she hides up in there most of the time. So you only see her when she's coming down to either repair the web or to get dinner. She's pretty small, so I'm assuming she's a youngster, and that's why she's a little more cautious. Because once they get full size, they don't have a whole lot to worry about. They're palm sized, so they're a pretty big spider. They're gorgeous and turn orange around the fall. Nice, very nice. Goodness, Sneezy Pants, are you okay? My apologies for anybody that's an arachnophobe in my stream. Oh, welcome back. You're back in here, sneezing away. Okay. At least I did. I'm not showing off the Joragumo models today. Tiger is the owner of them. He was in here earlier. He wanted me to paint the Joragumo with the golden orb weavers pattern. So I had a freehand. I had to smooth the torsos out first. So I took some milliput and smooth the ridges because their abdomens are ridged on the Joragumo. So I smoothed all the ribs out, made them nice and rounded little abdomens, and then the freehand pattern. But because the back pattern on them is pretty boring, it's just like 3 gray stripes pretty much. I decided I took creative liberty and put the belly pattern, which is the more vibrant red and black pattern, put that on their back, and then let the bellies just yellow. Oh, pardon me. So yeah, this is Doombull Brown by itself that I'm working with right now. I'm basically just catching like the goodness, cat, could you really? Just kind of catching the middle sections of the pants and like the wrinkles right now. And there he goes again. Finger eraser to the rescue. We have way too much water on the brush. That's causing the problem. Does anyone else have, just for random talk's sake, does anyone have the HBO Max app? Subscription service to HBO Max? Because for some reason, mine has taken to not automatically playing the videos. In fact, on the Fire Stick, it won't play them at all. It just hangs. And I've tried removing and updating the app, and it still does the same thing. And on the PC, I can hit the fast forward 15 seconds button, and they'll begin playing then. But I cannot play it on the TV or Fire Stick apps at all. You have HBO Max. Have you noticed that yet? Or had that problem yet, Doug? Tiger says, you spotted your first Orogumo in the wild last week. Very nice. Did you hear me talking about mine? My uncle, who lives about 5 miles down the street, actually had some last year. And they when he noticed them, they were fully grown. And he was so freaked out by them, he called an exterminator on them, which pissed me off. I mean, I don't think you should call an exterminator on them just because you're afraid of spiders. I mean, come on. One, they're outside, just don't be like that. Oh, you were on call but saw the comments in chat. Okay, I gotcha. You haven't had any problems with your Roku? Okay. Maybe it's just the Fire Stick then. Although, like I said, it does it on the PC too, but I can get it going with just hitting the fast forward button. But that doesn't work on the Fire Stick. It was a little laggy on the PC the other day, and watching it. I haven't watched it on PC since Monday though. It could be like maybe they're doing some updates or something. I don't know. Could just be not talking right between the server and the app. I'll give it a little bit of time. I mean, I've been asking for them to get their closed captioning working forever, and they won't do that because I watch closed captioning a lot where I don't want to hear sounds. I get overly sensitized to sounds sometimes, and I just want to be in a quiet thing, but I don't want to stop watching movies. So I'll enable closed captioning and watch the movie that way. They are an invasive species. I get it, but they aren't currently pushing anybody out yet. They could, and I guess that is a real threat because they don't have any natural predators here, or not like they did in Asia. Yeah, I've always had a thing for spiders. Like I said, I had one in my my windowsill at the house in Ackworth, and I would fling little droplets of water on the web when it hadn't fed in a while, and if I could catch gnats or flies, I'd throw them up on the web for it. My mom came to visit one day, and she tried to kill. I was like, no, don't hurt Charlotte. Charlotte's my pet. why do you have a pet spider? I said, why don't you? Spiders are cool. Okay. Pants are just about done. We've got a little bit of one more highlight color we're going to work with. We'll do some really small little highlights on it. So many Neff species here in Georgia, besides the Juro spider already, they don't really have an ecological niche, and there's enough damn mosquitoes. That is true. That is true. So you're in Georgia as well. Cool. Always nice to have another native here. What part, if you don't mind me asking? Don't feel obligated, but if you don't mind. Woodstock area. Oh, okay. Very cool. So you're close to the, or closer to the home base for Wyrd than I am. I'm up in Habersham County, Northeast Georgia. Do you play over at Gigabytes? Hey, McLove, you got super focused on what you're drawing. No problem, man. What are we? The police? Nah, man. You come and go as you please. We're just glad you're here. You doing play? Do you play? I kind of figure. I mean, if you're on that side of Georgia, that's where you're going to play. If you play, I wish I could get over there more often myself, but I play over at Meeples, which is it's still a bit of a drive to Meeples. It's about 45 miles, about an hour and 15, depending on traffic. Well, it's not an hour and 15 anymore. They have got a 3-lane most of the way to the store now, so it's not as bad as it used to be. The previous, before they put the 3-lane in or cut the 3-lane in, it was all 2-lane road and, or, 1 lane. Now there's 3 on either side. But anyways, and it was like always a school bus on that road. And they were doing like 10 freaking miles an hour. So it'd take forever to get anywhere. Oh, you're leaving, Seabass? No problem. Have a great night. Thank you for hanging out. The fish snag us. Yeah, we're gonna finish these. Well, we're gonna finish her up, hopefully. I don't know. We may not. We're gonna try. Okay, and then we'll do this. This color that I've been putting on the last couple, the backs of the legs and those little cuffs and stuff, is actually the word. The word is coming out of my mouth. Um, it's Japanese uniform and Doom Bull 1-to-1. So it's got kind of a little bit of a yellow cast to it. I think it works pretty good. All right. So she kind of got her hip slung out that side, so we're going to put a little bit more of these highlights on the hip area, just to show the material being stretched a little bit, or pressure put on it. Go. So the pants are done. Now, what do we want to work on? I guess we're kind of going upwards. I guess I could work on, we can do either these ropes because we kind of worked with the boots and that. We did do a little bit on the face, but we've been working bottom up. So we can go, we can do the rope or we can do the sash. What do we want to do? I think the ropes won't take too long. Let's do those. Pardon me, and then we'll do the sash. Pardon me again. Goodness gracious. So this is English uniform I'm putting on now. Trying to keep it constricted just to the coils of the rope, or restricted to the coils of the rope. You have officially finished the first half of my project. I had a part that had been unfinished, but now it's done. Next half will be interesting. Very cool. Is this more Malifaux related or some other project? It is very cool. I mean, I don't think we have enough Malifaux artists. The people that work just on Malifaux, 2D or animation or whatever. Had one. She would seem like if I remember correctly, it was a female artist that would do portraits of masters and they were fantastic, but I haven't seen one from them in a while. I don't know if they moved on to a new passion project or what. I think the last one they did was Rasputina, if I'm not mistaken. You remember? Yeah, they were, weren't they? Um, I don't know if they were on Twitter or not. They posted them on the Wyrd page, so I don't remember if they were for like links to their Twitter page. But they were really fantastic. I wish I had a tenth of their talent. Always, always jealous of people that can draw well, which is funny, because I used to draw pretty well. I had a scholarship to SCAD, but I've been out of it for so long. I don't even think I could draw a stick figure now. Oh, the fan art from Hungary, they do those for local community prize support, which is amazing. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, if you have a link to like their personal page or something like that, um, Kim, if you post it so I can click it and check it out later, or post it to me in Discord, one of the two, because I definitely wouldn't mind seeing some more of their stuff. Okay. Whew. They are at Ralph. Ralph. I don't even have a Twitter account anymore. I don't think. Here at looks like they're on DeviantArt too. Yeah, they're on DeviantArt. I can look at that one. Oh, they are on Instagram? Okay, I did not see that one. Let's see here. Ah, here we go. Thank you. Yeah, I'll give them a follow at both those locations now. But yeah, they do some fantastic work. Said very, very jealous. Okay. Getting these ropes about finished up here. So now we move on to the sash, right? That was our next step. So, hello, Ringy Dingy. Just make sure it's not anything important. That one can wait. Oh, dear Lord. If they let me. Just mixing up our next color. This is going to be a little bit of Prussian and a little bit of flat blue, or dark Prussian and flat blue. Mostly dark Prussian because flat blue has so much white in it. You have to mix it about 5-1 to get an actual variation between flat blue and dark Prussian. It's got that much white in it, but it counteracts dark Prussian blue with severe intensity. Let's see here. Made me happy when I first saw their art. I was and still am rather new to Malifaux, and I didn't see many people making 2D fan art. Hope to get rid of some of the nervousness. Yeah, yeah. I mean, now conversely, in my case, I'd be more nervous doing Malifaux fan art right now because there is somebody so talented doing it. See, I'd be happier being the only one that did fan art, and that way, I wouldn't have somebody to directly compare myself to. That's just me though, because I'm extremely insecure about my painting and artwork and stuff like that. So. I got you. That makes sense too. That makes sense too. It's all it's all a very personal thing, right? Oops. That's camera shake, what, 3 today? You've been doing pretty good. Not bad at all. And it let me know somebody had both an interest in Malifaux and 2D art like you. So that felt, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I agree. I need to have more of a viewpoint like that than the, oh no, there's competition here. I'm not going to be able to stand up to it. Now, it's funny. I don't. That's part of the reason why I don't do 2D drawing anymore. Um, I get discouraged looking at these people that were so much freaking better than me, and it would discourage me, and I'd quit painting or drawing, excuse me, and then because I quit drawing, I'd of course be out of practice, and it would take even less um, good artwork to throw me into that downward spiral again. So, um, but with miniature painting, for some reason, seeing good painters seems to push me. Like I want to get better. Um, but it was never that way with 2D. I don't understand what mindset difference there is, but it definitely is a different mindset for me with miniature painting. Yeah, I mean that's definitely true for sure. Just drawing was my first artistic relief. That was what I did first. So, like I said, I was pretty good at it, but I don't know why it's the one that I get so uptight about. Okay, just about done here. This blue, we'll come in with a couple more little, or maybe just a single more highlight um, to kind of like pop in the middle of those, and then it'll be finished up. angle here. And then there's another one on the side I didn't quite catch last time. So let's make sure we get it. Let's see, I know why we didn't get it. That was hard to get to. Correct that just a wee bit. And we gotta fix up her pants now. Okay, there we go. Let's get that other piece down here, the little lower piece of that tabard. And like I said, we will come in and get the underside of these once I pop her off the base. But for right now, we're not going to worry with those. I am aware that the insides of the tabards don't have, or the inside of the wrap or whatever it is, does not have paint, but I will get to them. Just not on stream at the moment. Okay, now we'll take a little bit of white and mix in with that previous flat blue. We'll just pop a few hot spots around here. And right down here at the end of it. You're off for a bike ride? All right. Appreciate it hanging out, McBluff. Thank you for the lurks. Those are always appreciated. Enjoy your bike ride. It's definitely a good time of the year for it. Okay. I guess we can move up and do her. Actually, I'm probably going to wait on the shirt. I think probably we'll work on. Let's work on that top wrap real quick because we already got the blues out. We're going to have to probably touch them up though once we finish up the skin. Okay. So now we'll come in here with a little bit of this this mix of flat blue and dark Prussian. We'll catch like the forehead and then like the top third of her head, I guess. And then we'll go to the other one, which was the flat blue, and kind of just work on this area here. And then we'll work on blending those together. This is the previous mixture, and we're just going to kind of roll it in here around this while this is still wet. Get a little bit of a wet blend going on there. Sorry, let me move it over here. Just want to check lighting. Here we go. And I'll come in with a little bit of pressure and work that in a little bit here. Go. All righty. Get a swig of drink here. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and start working on the flesh because everything else is kind of dependent on it now at this point. So this is just some barb flesh we're working back in over that wash. Just catching the high spots here. Okay, a little bit up there in that bicep, or it's not really the bicep. What is that? The delt trapezius? This one up here, I can't think of. The shoulder one. It's that shoulder muscle. We don't know what it's called, but it's that one. That's what we're working on. Okay, so we're continuing to work that flesh around. This is barbarian flesh. I gotta try not to get it down in the wash area because I want to keep that little bit of delineation there. Like I said, on her model, she has a shark emblem, a shark tooth necklace, but on the render, excuse me, on the render, she has this shark tooth necklace, but on the model, it's just cleavage. So get back over there and do that. We get one more drop of that paint. Getting kind of dry. I guess the heat is running a lot more today. It's drying my wet palette out, as well as my eyeballs. So that's definitely why the paints are losing their consistency so much quicker. I missed the day where the temperatures were comfortable enough you didn't have to run the heat or the air. It makes painting so much easier. You don't have to contend with things drying out. I have well, I don't have, they're not like personal friends or anything, but I watch their streams a lot. This couple that paint in Nevada, they used to stream quite often. I don't think they've been on much lately, but anyways, they talk about how bad it is to dry. You think Nevada's a desert, so it's definitely going to be drier, and how that would affect your painting. I mean, a wet palette is an absolute must, but even with the wet palette, when you're talking, 35% humidity or less, it's wet palette's only going to do you so much good. So yeah, I definitely would not want to be painting in that environment. Like I said, it's bad enough when the heat or the air draws it out, but you still have times in the spring and fall where you're not running it, that you have perfect humidity and your paint doesn't dry out. But not there. All right, so let's see here. Get some daggum coverage here. That would be nice. That primer just keeps popping through. Okay. So these fingers cut in a little bit better. By law of operation or order of operations, these should actually be painted after the gun, even though the rest of the flesh needs to be done beforehand. But because the gun is underneath them, it should be done first. But we're just kind of skipping that part. For now, I'm going to touch up around it because that is not flesh there. And there's that little bit. That's got it. Make sure that's dry. I'm going to go ahead and work on the weapon a little bit. Before that paint dries out. Okay, so just doing that kind of cheapy non-metallic metal look, not full on, because this is just a little filler model, right? So we're just catching the tops of these right here. And the top of the shaft here. Okay, and we don't want to forget back here as well. This was it's also that metal here. I have a couple little rivets here and there that have it as well, but I'm not as concerned about those. And pick those up pretty easy later on. Okay, we'll get a little bit of that down this lower portion of the hook here. Also come down and edge that with it. Okay. And we'll drag that out to the tip here. Kind of just on the tops of those if we can. More on the top of this now, or just kind of making smaller and smaller segments of these lighter and lighter colors, right? That's the whole idea. Then we'll move on over here. Okay. Probably should have been painting that right there. We weren't, but that's fine. We got it now. Finger eraser back in. Okay, now get some edging material paint done. Mixed up. Here we go. So there we go. And like I said, we're not doing like super high end MM on this, just like kind of the mirror suggestion. I want it to go too crazy. This is the next to lightest color. I have to white, so this is basically what we'll use for the edge highlighting. We may come in with some white dots on key points. For the most part, this is what we're using. A little bit right there. Right in here. Okay, and then we'll get the white out. Okay, catch the edge there. Finger eraser to the rescue again. Okay. It's pretty well where I want it for right now. This one a little bit now. All right, now we'll do those little bolts that are around it. I may end up having to redo these a little bit because we'll have to be drawing some wood grain in here, so we may overlap them a little bit. So I'm not going to get too crazy detailed with them in case I have to redo them. It'll be like a couple little gray dots, smaller and smaller successions. Ooh, too much paint. That would have been disaster. Okay. After this, a little drop of white. A little drop up here on this one as well. Okay. I'm going to do a little bit of shading, I think, here on this weapon up the front to kind of boost some contrast here. Okay, I think that'll work. Now we will go back to skin, I guess, or wood. Let's do the wood real quick. We'll do that real quick. Again, this is Rhinox and Doombull, I think. Yes, Doombull. That's it. Put that on this top layer here. I'm probably going to come in and do some like off white wrappings because this looks like wrappings rather than wood there for the handle. And come in and do some light wood grain here with a Doom Bull. If my brush will cooperate today. All right, now we'll go with the this is Doom Bull and English uniform mixed together. So we're just gonna highlight some, or the wood highlight the wood grain some. Sorry. This brush has about had it. It will not stick together for a fine pin line like that. We'll try, but oof, the least little pressure, it splits. I think that's about as close as we're going to get. Use the same color on the edge of the gun. This one should be a little bit easier because we'll be using the flat side of the brush. That. And again here, now we'll have to put a little wood grain finish on that front side too. Can't get the back all the love, right? Likewise, lost a brush a few minutes ago to attrition. This one's held up surprisingly well. Like I said, it seems like the quality control is very hit or miss with this. Like you get one brush that's really good or really acceptable, and you get one that's just absolute garbage. I bought three and of the size, and one of the three is good. So basically a 33% ratio at that rate. Not so handy, but they're only, I think they're $10, maybe $9. So it's not a bad deal, but don't just buy one because you're going to pay shipping on a hit or miss thing. So get, a handful of 3, 4, 5, something like that. So you'll at least get one good brush out of it for the shipping. But these are definitely going to be my tied over brushes. Like when I'm waiting for Broken Toads to come in stock, I'll probably buy these. But Broken Toads are my favorites. Ooh, we don't have much more time. I'm not going to open a new brush. How about that? We'll just keep using what I got. I realized time had slipped away so much. We are not going to finish her. I thought we were, but we're not. Sad. Welcome back, McBluff. You just did make it. You just did make it. How was your bike ride? So under construction, what are you working on that you lost a brush? That one of your brush soldiers was lost today in action. Pretty finally cool down there. Nice. Nice. Man, got a little heavy-handed there. Let's use that finger eraser again. Always Pure Madness. I was using an old beater for chipping fluid reveal, and it's oh, okay. Looks like Wiley Coyote's nose after. That's pretty good. Yeah. Chipping medium, um, masking medium, any of those things, they will just absolutely wreck a brush. Have you done the salt and hairspray chipping method under construction? Because that's the only one I've used. I've not done any of the chipping mediums. I just use the hairspray and salt. I did find that not using table salt is to your advantage. You want to use like rock salt or kosher salt, like raw kosher salt, because table salt is uniform. It's little squares, and they're almost always like the exact same size or so close together you can't tell the difference. But when you get like kosher salt, you'll get some that are irregular. They'll be 5-sided and smaller and larger and medium sizes and stuff like that. So it makes a difference to use that salt because you'll get more irregular patterns. Well, we're gonna get our little barbarian flesh. Drop a little ivory. Done it with kosher salt, but don't care for it. There's a lot that can go wrong. This angle approach gumming. Gotcha. Well, it worked for me the one and only time I used it. So I'm definitely by far not an expert on the subject. In fact, I'm so not an expert on weathering. I tend to paint things like brand new. I tend not to do the weathering thing at all. You make a bunch of beat up rusty metal joint. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, like I said, I admire the people that can do the weathering stuff. It's not something I'm good at. Like to use this AK chipping medium. Nice. I've heard a lot of good things about AK, especially for weathering. But I've heard their paints are pretty good too. You know, oh shoot, what's his name? Drax is a huge fan of them. You don't like weathering stuff either until I went to a class by Aaron Lovejoy. Shows a super easy way to do it, and nice. When I did do the project that I wanted to do the weathering on, it was a chibi mechanic, and I wanted her like on an airship, and I wanted to be like in the engine room, and I wanted it to be all rusty metal and stuff. Even though it's in the air, I figured there'd be salt in the air and stuff like that, and I figured disrepair and all. So I wanted it to be kind of weathered and antiqued, and I tried doing some of the rusting pigments, or the rusting pigment fluids, not the dry powder. but I had some of the fluids and I tried those and they just didn't work. They kind of pulled in weird locations and I didn't like how they were working. So I painted every dot of rust individually, one dot of orange and or brown at a time. So I was sitting there doing pointillism with different colors of red, brown, and orange, like this, just layers upon layers upon layers of these dots of paint. And that was how I did my rust effect, but it looked really good. Um, and then eventually I did the hairspray and the rock salt with it for the peeling up around the paint, and it was a very good effect. But man, it took a long time. Pigment fluid, no mas. Yeah. Well, I figured it out. Luckily, it was just the base. It wasn't a big problem to fix. But yeah, I figured that out quite fast. That was not the way to do things. The stippling pointillism thing worked really well, but very, very time consuming. So not something I recommend unless you have a lot of time to throw into a model. But that way you have control of how the rust looks, where it looks, and stuff. So it's a good method, but oof, time consuming. I think speaking of time, I think we're about out. So I'm going to try and finish up this little bit right here around the arms. So we'll have the skin done at least. But anyways, when Kim gets around to it, I do have a Willow link that leads to all my social medias. Yeah, follows are free. So I would definitely appreciate it if you drop follows and subs and stuff. Well, not subs, but follows. Subs on Facebook. Yeah, because there's a Facebook one on there. There it is. That's the one. And again, if you're not already following here, drop a follow here too, because those follows are free, and you get notifications when we're going live. Although there's something you have to keep an eye on because Twitch does like to unfollow people for you. So always make sure that we're in your list. So yeah, we're just about done with the skin here, like in the nick of time kind of thing. Did not get to her face, but we'll work on that later. We'll probably be finishing her up, and then starting on the male next week if I don't finish them up in between now and then. So yeah. Anyways, oh, am I on tomorrow? I thought this was the single day week. Oh, okay. yeah, I'm not. I was like, wait. Am I on? No. No problem. Next week is my double. I mean, I'll paint tomorrow if you want me to, but anyways, Tiger, thank you for hanging out. Under construction, thank you for hanging out as well. And hey, talking about the weathering and stuff, that's awesome. Again, everybody, thanks for coming to see us. And there'll be some other weird painters tomorrow for you to watch. And have a great day. And thank you for hanging out. Till then, hobby on.